Hello, my friends. Thanks for coming to play with the ideas I present on my channel. I'm always excited when I get a good question, when I really understand a question. I know that I can dial up in meditation and receive some perspective on it. The question I had recently was, why do we believe that heaven comes after this lifetime? Why do we believe so strongly that everything is wonderful after we die? And actually, it's not bad because we are in a less dense experience platform. So it is easier after we've dropped the physical body. Now, I've had density explained to me in terms of light energy, and we're so limited in the words we can use. So, for example, when we hear a bird singing, we have a more light filled mind. When we watch the news, we lose our light, don't we? So, where did this idea of judgment come from? Judgment came about because of greed. Many Aboriginal cultures that preceded ours did not take more than what they needed from their environment for food and shelter. Now, of course, some of these older Indigenous or Aboriginal cultures had shamans, but shamans drew energy from their environment and directed it toward an intention. It wasn't a religion. Indigenous people knew how to live in harmony with both the planet and each other. But after greed came in to the human condition in our evolution, then the idea of judgment was introduced. And the other factor that came into the human condition, besides greed, was the concept of sacrifice. Sacrifice is trading one thing for another thing. So, say there's something you want more than what you already have. You might trade that thing for something you want more. Now, sometimes we trade something that we would rather not trade for something that we feel might benefit us more. So there's also that aspect of bartering. And the idea of bartering evolved into the idea of sacrifice. So that if we have a miserable life, we'll go to heaven. And that's actually a little bit of what I was taught in the Catholic religion. I'm not sure they really hammer on that anymore. I've been gone a long time. But the heaven is the fifth dimensional aspect of Earth, or the ascended aspect of Earth. And I'm sure you've all heard about that. Now, most of us have had a glimpse or a glimmer of experiencing the ascended Earth. You know, when we're standing out in nature and all of a sudden the light, the colors, the birds, I mean, just we are joyous to see that aspect of Earth. But right now, there is also a lower aspect of Earth. as the whales disappear, the polar bears die, the ice caps melt. There is a lower expression of Earth, which I do think is related to human greed. And we all feel such tremendous guilt about that. But the Earth herself has lower expressions as well as higher expressions. People have lower expressions as well as higher or more energized expressions. But this isn't judgment. This is a condition or a circumstance, right? And so when religion was invented, which combined the concept of both greed and sacrifice, the religions promoted certain practices to ensure that we would go to heaven when we died. Now, suffering plays into this too, and the suffering is possible if we're depending on, and I know that sounds judgy, sorry about that. If we have a very light-filled expression versus a very not light-filled expression or circumstance in our life. Now, we knew there'd be suffering when we came here. We all knew that, but we did not come here to suffer. It's come to me in a meditation that, haven't you realized that pain is just a sensation? You know, the core being of ourself cannot, as we know, be killed in the sense that we understand that. And the core of ourself really can't be impacted by the superficial suffering that we go through here. So let's get back to why we've been so disempowered from understanding that we have the self-responsibility to find heaven here. Now, of course, after we die, it's easier because things aren't as difficult. But heaven is here, and a lot of people know that. So, getting back to questions, I hope that this sparks a lively debate with anybody. And again, I have no wish to disparage the social interactions that take place of support and love during it within organized religion. You know, the code of conducts that make it possible for humans to live together. You know, I don't mean that at all. I mean that we've been disempowered from understanding our direct ability to experience heaven without any, I don't really want to say authority. I'm not sure what the word I'm reaching for is, but nobody should come between, no human for sure, ever should come between our spiritual development and our spiritual nature and our own harmony of reaching for the best experiences that we can here. So I'd love to hear what you think about this. And until I see you again, please be well and please be blessed. Thanks for coming.